What is up, everybody? Today I'm back doing more Pokemon Regulation I team fixing. That's right, this is the start of a brand new season on Patreon for VGC team fixing, and we're taking a look at a super cool team today that features Kyogre and Rayquaza. Some of this team might be a little bit familiar to because it's basically a redone version of the same team Wolf Glick used at the 2016 World Championships to get first place. It has the Kyogre, it has the Ray, it has the Raichu, but it has like new tools like Flutter Mane instead of the Gengar, like a Flying Terra dual wing beat Scizor. I think he had, did he have Salamence? I don't really remember. I know he had Hitmontop. There's an Urshifu instead of Hitmontop. So we're going to be taking a look at this team right here and the official Patreon team submission post. If you guys have a team you want help with Reg I before the format actually starts, please think about checking out the official Patreon team submission post. This post up here that we're going to be hosting tournaments. We have all of my rentals that I'm showing on YouTube for all the different tournaments I'm entering. There's so many things happening on Patreon. You can join all of it for the low price of $2 a month. So think about checking it out. We're also going to be fixing a bunch of these teams on stream this month. So think about checking this one out. We're taking a look at Simon's team right here. And Simon always uploads like the coolest possible teams of these sort of videos. So I really appreciate their input on this, being first on this little post right here. So, like they said, this team is all about Kyogre Rayquaza, inspired by 2016 Wolf Glick. Half the mons are similar to his team. They talked about how they have like multiple different ways they might have wanted to play this, you know. They're using like a Mystic Water Ogre, but they also like Scarf. They talk about like the Rayquaza could be built this clear amulet like physical set, or they might want to go special. I've read all this little input. This is one of my favorite things about this team submission post, is seeing all the different ways in which people like their teams and getting a good understanding of how people like their teams lets me better fix them to optimize them when I give them back at the end of the video. So really cool write-up from Simon. I would, you know, implore you all to actually go check out all these little write-ups if you guys want to see a good understanding for these teams that we feature. I think the one thing that I took away most from this, if we take a look back at like the code one more time, is that this team doesn't have redirection, which is something that Simon actually noted in their video. I think realistically, instead of something like Scizor, if you were to put an Amoonguss right there, that's something that just like sticks out for me as like a really good mon that could be really good here. But that being said, I think we have a lot of cool tools on this team. If we were to take a look at the actual Poke Paste right here, there's a lot of cool things going for it. It's a relatively bulky Ray, which I think we might switch up just a little bit because like having like a bunch of bulk with like Dragon's Ascent is a little bit counterproductive. Kyogre could be optimized just slightly. I really like the Raichu set. I think it can be optimized slightly as well. Flutter Mane's a good set. We've seen this set before. Urshifu, very standard. Nothing really wrong with that. I like the Stellar Terra there. And the Scizor is cool. I'm going to try my best to make the Scizor work, even though I do think Amoonguss goes there. I really like what they were going with this Scizor, being like, man, this team really needs like a fairy pivot, because, you know, fairy typing was not as big of a deal back in 2016 and stuff like that. So it wasn't like something you needed to, you know, play around as much. But I think like the steel typing, they're making a good pivot for the Urshifu and the Rayquaza. That's a good idea, but at the same time, it's like, I think Amoonguss could do the same thing with poison typing. So that's my thoughts on this. Again, if you guys have any sort of teams you might want help with before the format actually starts, please think about checking out the official team submission post right here. I would really appreciate it. There's a bunch of cool stuff going on Patreon this month, and like I said, for the low price of $2, I don't think you can beat the amount of content I'm going to be providing you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's go right into some games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Alright, really cool team. Double Sun, Groudon, and Koraidon. Dude, this is actually like kind of good for Kyogre, because you could just like pivot in the Ray and be like, slap the Groudon in the face. So I think Kyogre is a good lead. Trying to think of what actually stops Kyogre from like slapping. I wish we had a little bit of speed control on anything other than Flutter. So I think I am going to lead like Kyogre Flutter, and then I'm going to bring the Ray. And I'm thinking, like, I think that Scizor could actually be good here. I know they have, like, a lot of fire types, but, like, they have that big Whims here, too. I wonder if that's Sash. Should I just lead Scizor, then? That actually seems, like, really good. Like, those two plus Flutter Ray seem, like, really good. Like, this matchup specifically shows, like, the value of Scizor, right? It's good into the Flutter, it's good into the Whims, and those are the mons that, like, really pin the Ray out of the game. So let's see if we can get this to work. This is so cool. And then Scizor also is like pretty decent into like Incin, because we have the fat close combat. I like this. I'm super vibing with this. I think Scizor is like a really usable mon. And it just doesn't really pop up in formats that often. But man, when it does, it's like so good, right? Alright, let's see this. Here we go. Groudon's gonna be dicey, But we can, if they lead Groudon and just like slack, we just pivot in Ray and just win the game. Like you lead like Groudon like Garg. Okay, this is fine. This is a good matchup for us. They're probably going to be outspeeding our Kyogre here, and that's going to be completely fine. I wonder what we do with Oger this turn. Obviously, we're going to be... Sorry, did I say outspeed? We're outspeeding them, obviously. Let me think about what I want to do here. I was going to go block my screen like I have tournaments and stuff later. Let's think. I could probably just pivot in the Ray. I know that, like... I just think they're either going for, like, a fire attack or, like, a P-Blades, right? So I don't need to take that damage on my Oger. And then I can just repin the Koraidon. Let me think. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I want to see if that's Sash Wims. It definitely could be Sash Wims. You see a lot of Sash Flutters on these sort of teams. And I don't want my Kyogre taking, like, a double up from, like, P-Blades Moonblast. I don't really care if I lose the Ray, because then I would just still be able to repin. Tailwind. Awesome. Yeah, they are faster than this. They do get up the Tailwind. I think we're going to be okay here, though, because we're going to be able to stagger that weather correctly. Awesome. And you can definitely... Oh, cool. It's actually fine, because we can E-Speed that guy next turn. E-Speed is a higher priority than Wims' Prankster, too. So we're good. P-Blades. Yep, there it is right there. Scizor can soak this P-Blades pretty well. I actually think I might go for the... I'm gonna Bullet Punch the Groudon. So we're going to E-Speed here. Ooh, I could just Bullet Punch the Wims and go for a Swords Dance. That's actually an even better play. We'll let you use one more priority move if you want to use it. Like, I don't really care. What are you going to do? Like, Encore my Bullet Punch, bro? Like, go nuts. You can't Moonblast here, right? And they might go, like, Ghost to try and block the E-Speed. So getting this +1 right here is +2 off the Swords Dance and threatening the normal Terra. We might just be able to, like, Oko the Groudon with, like, or maybe not Oko, but, like, double up into the Groudon next turn with, like, E-Speed, Normal Terra, and the Bullet Punch. Probably just KOs. And they can't pivot in and Sin here to get out of this because we're rocking Clear Amulet Ray. Like, holy moly, we are cooking here. And we are getting the Terra out of this. Are you going Fire Terra or are you going Ghost? Awesome. It's probably going to be Fire, right? What if it was, like, Ghost Groudon, dude? That'd be the worst thing ever, right? Holy moly. Okay, so Fire Terra's fine. Like, we really don't care. Kyogre's going to come in here and just repin this guy. Sunny day. Yeah, they think we're going to pivot in Oger. I super vibe with that. You know, there is a Ray on the board, though. I think they thought we were pivoting out. I want to see if, are they going to, like, Thunder Punch my Ray, bro? Like, what do you think you're doing out here? There's not really that much Wims could have done there, honestly. Heat Crash. We're going right into the Scizor. Easy peasy. And remember, you still have your weather up, but I can just bring in my Kyogre. I think I will bring in... Well, there's no real reason to bring in Kyogre, because right now all the weather is just straight up disabled. Big SD on board. So, like, right now, it says it's sunny, but Airlock's basically, like, passing all the turns. I'm trying to think. I'm going to send out the Oger, drop a Double Protect, wait out a turn of Tailwind. Oh, it's Garg. Okay. Weird. I wonder how much damage we do into that Groudon. So, let's check this out. So, we got Rayquaza here. Let's go for Swords Dance set. I think we have 236 here. Let me move this camera so you guys can see things. There we go. Against, like, Groudon. So we don't know anything about their set. Let's just plug in a blank one and plug in, like, we're looking at E-Speed here. So I think we're Adamant. And we're gonna be +2. And we're gonna be Normal Terra. That almost KOs straight up. Against a Sweeper Groudon, which I don't think they are. So we need a little bit of damage. Look at me. Professional streamer, mover in the camera and around. Turns on this are 2 turns Tailwind. I don't think there's an issue with a Double Protect here. Because, like, Ray's also not pinned by this. I think I'm going to Double Protect, and then I'm going to pivot out the Oger for the Flutter, and then I'm just going to Dragon's Ascent the Groudon. I think that's a fine play. I think they're going to be going Salt Cure. I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, Wide Guard here, and I'm just not ever going to click that button. Yeah, I'm not ever going to commit while that Garg is just sitting around over there. P-Blade's cool. So they actually can't hit Ray in a very good way. And I'm pretty sure we Oko Koraidon with E-Speed, because Groudon's, like, a lot bulkier than Koraidon is. So I think I'm going to do this. Just so... Nah, Garg can't Oko me with Salt Cure. I'm fine. I'm safe here. That's fine. That's a KO. We're going to pivot in here, and I think this is fine. We need to unlock Kyogre from, you know, being pinned by Wide Garg. So I think we're going to be alright. P-Blade shouldn't Oko Flutter. We have a relatively bulky set. We get that speed boost. Let's go, Ray. There's the Garg pivot. Is this Koraidon? This is the last turn of your Tailwind too, by the way. They're like, ha, I will reset the sun. I wonder, it's like, you know there's a Rayquaza on the board, right? Homie knows this? It says sun, but it just doesn't affect. That's how Airlock works. P-Blades. Yeah, I don't think Flutter goes down unless like you high roll. And we know you're not like orbed. Yeah, you miss anyways. Because that move sucks, bro. Dragon's Ascent D's, bro. Oof. Oofs. Cool. Groudon. No, I'm saying. Okay, so I'm just going to flip on the normal Terra on my Ray, lock up that Koraidon slot, and probably just Moonblast the Garg. I think we Oko. I don't think there's a way that they remove the Ray while also checking the Flutter with like this board. So man, this team's like working really, really well right off the rip. I think that's so cool. A lot better than I actually thought. Like Scizor was very, very impactful. We don't need to Icy Wind, so I won't. I'm just gonna Moonblast here. Just start doing damage into this thing. Battle's canceled. This guy already knows what's up, so pretty good stuff. If I were to take a look at this so far, I think some of the things I would be changing is I think you can optimize. You don't need 12 points in there because Kyogre has like a higher base HP than some of its other stats. Probably just want to put those 12 in there, or just even like 252, 252, 4 would probably just be fine. I like that you are the full speed Ogre. That's definitely right. I think your Ray has a little bit too much speed. You could probably also drop that down to just outspeeding Genies and stuff like that at +1. Or +1, -1 from like an Electro Web or an Icy Wind. So that's something you can just save those points to put in other things. Go up to the 252 attack. I think you might as well get the 252 attack on the Ray. It probably will just help do a little bit more damage. Raichu's looking good. Flutter's looking good. Things are looking good. I'm feeling good about this Scizor. We can definitely optimize this EV spread though. So there are things that we can change. I'm loving the team so far. So we're going to play a couple more games. Let's hop right into it. Here we go. Oh man, that's like the de facto team to beat right now. You got Ogerpon Rilla, you have Shadow Rider Zenta. This is going to be super spicy. How do I want to deal with this? I really like Ray in this matchup, but like you need to protect the Ray correctly. I think something like Ray Flutter is good. You know what I actually think? I think Ray's better off with Cloak than Clear Amulet. Because you can just Swords Dance to get around and intimidate. But they want to fake out Ray because they think it's sashed. So I'm going to bring these. And then I'm thinking what we really need to bring here. I'm not a big fan of like fake outs. Like Raichu, I don't think Raichu's good here. I think that you could almost get away with Urshifu here, but I think I'm still going to bring the Scizor. Close combat from Scizor will do a lot to the Zenta, believe it or not. I'm going to try and close with the Kyogre. I think that we need the speed control from the Flutter to make this team actually work. It might not be the right play to lead Flutter, but I want to be able to like protect Ray, make them overcommit in that slot, weave in an Icy Wind if we need it. Because like, if Ray's sitting here, I wish Ray also had like full speed. If you had like full speed Ray, you'd be able to actually like outpace a Shadow Rider with like a Dragon's Ascent after an Icy Wind. And we can't right now. But against this lead specifically, I think we're in a good spot. Like I don't really care if they want to fake out the Ray. We don't need a Swords Dance here either. Let's think. Are you going to be Thunder Waving? Is that a thing that you think that you do here? I think we just nuke Grim. You can Woodhammer my Flutter. I don't really care. I mean, I could just hit that, you know? But that lets you get up dual screens. I don't want you to get up dual screens. I want you to get up one screen. And if you're fake outing my Ray and getting up a screen, then you get up the dual screens. I can't stop that. So that's fine. And then it means they have to have like Zenta and Shadow Rider in the back. So it's like there's no Insim we have to play around. There's no Ogerpon we have to play around, probably, right? So it's really good. And so you can trade basically the Grim for my Flutter here if you would like. Get up your one screen. I'm allowing you to do that. I'm allowing you to go like Reflect and just like Woodhammer my Flutter. That would be completely fine. Light screen, cool. So they're light screen. They're definitely over-respecting Oger. They're thinking that Ray's an easy deal with, but remember we have that normal Terra, so like we are going to be able to eat that Flutter, the Astral one turn. That's going to be the idea here. Awesome. So we got hit with that. They light screened. I think that we just Dragon's Ascent right there. Easy peasy. Moonblast right here. You're going to get your dual screens up. I can't really stop that. But again, they're going to come in with the Shadow Rider, right? We're going to protect the Flutter. Normal Terra, Dragon's Ascent, like, chef's kiss levels of good. If we get a double KO here and you send out both those, maybe that play doesn't look as good. We might just want to Icy Wind first. And like Icy Wind, Dragon's Ascent probably would still KO the Shadow Rider through dual screens. But we'll see what they want to do. They can drop Protects and other weird things like that as well. I think Scizor is going to be a really good mon in the back of this. Cool. So let's see what they're doing. Are they just Grassy Gliding my Flutter? Wouldn't be a bad play if they know they're sticking damage. Oh, awesome. They're trying to go for the Wood Hammer. They're trying to hope that they live the Dragon's Ascent, which for some reason is a flying move, right? It's just so crazy. Yep. You might live it. I don't know your life. Nice. Easy peasy, bro. We take those. This is a big thing about double restricted formats that I don't think gets talked about enough, is like the tempo swap. You don't just want every KO. You don't want to KO like everything, because if let's say I just KO'd like just Thrilla and left the Grim there, they would have had to bring out one of the restricteds at a time, like the Shadow Rider, and I would have been able to just like bully it out of the game because Grim's not that much of a threat. Right now, I've let them bring in both of their restricteds, which looks like a really big tempo swing back in their favor, and that's because it is. That being said, I think we still have the tools to deal with this. I think we're just going to Icy Wind, Normal Terra, Dragon's Ascent. So we soak the Astral, we lose our Flutter, but then we outspeed everything, and then I think we stick enough damage into that Shadow Rider to be able to actually do stuff. That's just my thoughts. If you want to Wide Guard an Astral, I still get to hit your Flutter in the face, or your Shadow Rider in the face. And then we have like Kyogre and stuff like that. Kyogre does outspeed both those after, what is that? It outspeeds both of those after an Icy Wind drop. So that's the idea. You just gotta hit an Icy Wind, unless you're like Wide Guard. Are you Chad? And we're doing this, like I said, just to block Astral Barrage. Because I think like Astral Body Press or Astral like Heavy Slam is like a good looking play. We've used 2 Dragon Sense too. Like this Raichu's gonna get slapped. So let's see it. Icy Wind, perfect. So that's there to break Sash and lower speed on that Shadow Rider. And Ray doesn't outspeed Shadow Rider, but Ray now outspeeds Zenta, I think. Actually, we might not. We might not outspeed Zenta. That's definitely also a thing. We might not. And that's because our Ray's in like the no man's land of like outspeeding base like 180s after -1. You either need a lot more speed on Ray or a little bit less speed on Ray. But let's see where this goes. Let us see. I could have just E-speeded, bro. Nice, we do still outspeed. That's what I wanted. And sticking this damage, it'd be nice to get the KO, but I don't know if we do. And we're going to probably get KO'd by like Heavy Slam or Body Press. Let's see what they actually click here. If they don't click anything, we just E-speed them out. Heavy Slam. We're probably going to go down because we're at -2. We get to keep our mon. That's so good. All right, so I think we just bring in... Scizor's good here. Kyogre's good here. They're both good. I'm thinking, is there a problem with like a double protect? I'm thinking, does E-speed KO Shadow Rider from here? I think Kyogre's correct. I'm gonna send out the Kyogre. I wonder, does E-speed KO here? So Shadow Rider. I'm just gonna plug in a calc on the right hand side. I'm just gonna do this. You guys can see it, even though it's not really going to show that much of it here. I'll show you guys a calc. So we're plugging this in. So Shadow Rider, set this level 50. Click on like a random Terra. How much does the E-speed at neutral do behind a Reflect? Where's the Reflect button? Right there. So E-speed's doing 49. That still does... Oh, that's what the Life Orb does. That's too much. No item, please. 38 to 40. Which right now they have... Means you have to high roll it. Kyogre outspeeds though. I'm down. I'm gaming. Cool. I think that like E-speed plus Bullet Punch definitely pins it, and they should just be Wide Guarding with this Zenta here. Yep. Awesome. It'd be cool to get the KO. What are you gonna do? Like Astral? Like you could go for an attack into the Ray. Let's see if this gets a KO. Big E-speed. Yeah, not going to do it. But if they don't KO the Ray, we're good. Pollen Puff, that's actually so sick. I love that. Scizor does pin this guy, though, so I think we're in a good spot. Problem is, Scizor has to lock into freaking Bullet Punch, which is garbage against Zenta. The good news is... Well, yeah, the good news is, like, we still win. They have to, like, Wide Guard, basically, every single turn. And Kyogre's not Scarfed or Spexed, it's Mystic Water. So I can just, like... use all my... I can just start Ice Beam in his ass, right? So I think that Bullet Punch will get this KO. We're going to go for a big Spout here. I think Protect Shadow Rider, like Body Press, might be a really good play. But what if I had Feint, bro? Feint would be so good here. Oh, man. Choice Band Feint. That'd be the tech. That would be the tech. Protect. I can't stop it. Feint would absolutely cook here. They're going for the body press. We do outspeed that Zenta, like I said. A crit here would just be absolutely amazing. Good news is they don't KO us with a body press. So, like, we can just pivot over to, like, O-Pulse next turn. If we take a lot of damage here. Yeah, that's a great amount of damage. Body press is fine. Oof, almost gets that KO. We always outspeed that guy, right? So that's going to be a thing that we always get to do. And next turn, it's going to be single target. So I think that we're still, like, in a good enough position as long as we can hit our moves. Bullet Punch is good there. Origin Pulse, they have to go for a double protect, I think. Or they have to dodge this. They get the double! All right, we lost. We lost. Oh, dude, never lucky. Oh, my gosh. Absolutely never lucky. So, that being said, if we were to, like, think about what we could do to, like, get out of these situations, maybe I just crit this. That'd be kind of nice, right? Let's go. Crit. Never lucky, dude. Do we actually? We haven't lost yet. We haven't lost yet. We killed the Zenta with Scizor, I think. I think we still got shots. I think we still got shots. I think that Scizor is gonna carry it, bro. Here's that Reflector, so many more. Bullet Punch might not even KO this Shadow Rider, if I'm being honest. Ugh, forgiven. And he resists the Bullet Punch. But we're trying our best out here. We're trying our absolute best. Oh, come on, Scizor. Do it for me, buddy. Show me that you deserve to be on this team. You got that triple protect back there, Shadow Rider? You got the triple? Dude, just go for it. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you going for that triple. Can I get the KO, though? Nice. How much damage does Scizor do to Zenta? This is... Dude, I'm feeling the crit. I'm feeling the crit. We live the body press. We live one. Oh, dude, it's so close. All right. We got 60 seconds. I'm gonna run this calc, though. Let's go. All right, so we got Scizor. Scizor, all right, are we full attack? We're 236. Okay, 236, Bullet Punch into Zamazenta. Let's just pull it into, like, let's do a blank set. Now, let's go. We gotta do a Zamazenta crowned, right? VGC 25 bulky attacker. That's pretty realistic. That's not doing anything. And then there's also a reflect. Dude, I think we get it. I think we get it. Do you guys think we get it? I got this, bro. Scizor. Country roads take me home. Let's do this. BP baby! Let's go! Oh my gosh, yo, Scizor busted. That guy got the double, man. Hey, this team slaps, dude. Scizor's actually cooking on this team. It's like the perfect mon to close out the wins. I think if we're looking at like other things we could optimize, being able to outspeed Shadow Rider after those icy ones would have been really good. We need to get to 150 to do that. Same thing as like the Urshifu. You need to get to 149, sorry, to be able to outspeed after a +1 and -1. So that's something we might want to think about. So we either need to go down to like 121 to outspeed like Genies and like Lycanroc's Mousehold things, or we need to go like all the way up to 149. And I think that would probably be a better play. Another thing that we could do is just take away this Clear Amulet for like something like a Covert Cloak or even like a Life Orb or something. I think could be a really good item on the Ray. And I think doing that while also making this into like a 252 attack lets you just hit a little bit harder when you actually get to connect with stuff. So those are some changes I'm thinking about making. But man, Scizor has definitely proved its value over these two games. Man, who would have thought that Scizor is Kyogre's best restricted partner, not Rayquaza? This is ridiculous. We're going to go into one more game, and then we're going to hop into these team fixings. So, let's hop right into it. That's actually a really cool core. Zacian and Koraidon with Walking, Wake, and Pow. So, like, Sash, Pow. The Thundy is going to be dicey. This might be a good Raichu game. I think I'm going to lead Raichu. Do I want to lead it, though? I could just pivot it. I think that I could just pivot it correctly. What's the other lead option then? I'm looking at Flutter here. I think that Flutter is a good mon in the back. So I think Raichu and Flutter are good in the back. I wish we had U-turn on this guy. That way we just like soak the damage and just like U-turn out so safely. I guess that means I lead Oger. We would underspeed the Koraidon. They're probably not leading Koraidon. I think they're probably going to lead something like Oger Pawn. I'm going to lead with those. I don't know if I like Ray in this matchup. I know that sounds really weird. I don't think that it's like Ray acquired. There's just so many mons that it's like, it's not going to Pout. It's not going to Zacian. Not great in things like Wake. I'm going to bring these. That's just how I'm looking at this matchup. I don't particularly think that Rayquaza would be like absolutely amazing here. Yes, Extreme Speed's good. It's good into Koraidon, but like, they have Redirection. Well, the Redirection wouldn't really work versus E-Speed. It's hard to say, right? I just don't really think Ray is required here. I think that if you don't lead Koraidon, you can't really swap it in on enough damage. Like, you can't... Now, we'll see. We'll see. This is a good lead for me. Cool. I wonder how much damage we do to Zacian with Bullet Punch. How much do you guys think? A lot? A little? It's going to do a lot. No Thundy. What's gonna happen here? You're gonna pivot out one of these for Koraidon. I know that. Let's just do that. I'm gonna make him over-respect Oger. Yeah, and it's weird that they pivot out that one, because now you don't have your attack boost anymore. But I don't know if Koraidon can swap it on 2 Bullet Punches. And this was bait. You know, now we're just gonna pivot in Raichu, fodder the Oger, and then repin. And then, like, I think we're being in a good spot. You can go for, like, a Flamethrower into my Scizor, like, that should just be fine. I can't believe you'd be ignoring the Oger. Like, you might just Draco me to the Oger. I wouldn't even be surprised. Let's see it, though. Because, like, what if I swapped in Ray? You know? Big BP. Big damage here. Nah, you can eat those. Snarl. I like that. Snarl Wake is, like, definitely, like, my jam right now. It's one of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things. Orb. Yeah, you like how we're just, like, not really playing the game? Like, we're just like, I just pivot around here, I just pivot around here. Like, we're just not really, like, interacting with that Wake. Life Orb Snarl is definitely a choice. So let's see what they got here. We're going to pivot in the Flutter. We're going to outspeed stuff. I think we're blocking... I'm hoping that we're blocking, like, a Collision Course or something like that, but we'll see. Hydro Steam. I think we might be able to eat this. They're orbed, though. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we need to save Scizor or Zacian pivot. Scale Shot. Okay. This is going to be loaded dice. We should be able to eat this, though. Oh, they're not loaded dice. They're just bad. We take those. You're dead. Goodbye. And so now I just have to protect my Flutter, pivot in my Scizor. You know, oh, dude, you are just alive. What a Chad. Damn, he ate that. He Arby's. He good in the neighborhood out here. Whoa. Okay. So we have to pivot in Scizor. Oh, we can't pivot in Scizor, though. I could just go Ice. Like, all right. Let's think about what we're doing here. I'm going to pivot in the Raichu. Give me a Fake Out pin. And I'm going to protect. Because we need to be able to drop the speed on the Zacian. And then I'm going to Fake Out pin the Koraidon. No, I'll Fake Out the Walking Wake Icy Wind. It's a much better play. Cool. I like that. And if we lose the Raichu, we lose the Raichu. I have to save the Scizor for a Zacian pivot. That's the one thing that's, like, most important about this. Save the Scizor for the Zacian pivot. Damn, I cannot believe that Koraidon was alive. Let's go in Terra here. Wish we had Faint on this Raichu. Water Terra Wake. Sounds like a job for Raichu, bro! Let's see it. Big Protect here. I wonder what they're using. That's smart. Yeah, I think they're going after the Flutter, because Flutter outspeeds. They shouldn't, like, I wonder why they're going Water. I don't think there was a reason to go Water there. You would have killed there anyways. Maybe they thought I was going to pivot, and that I was going to protect Oger and pivot in Scizor. That's actually a good reason why they would make that play. But now we have the Fake Out here, and I'm going to go for this. It's a speed tie between this Koraidon and Flutter if they're full speed, but, like, that's fine. Pivot's Wake. Okay. This is Zacian. If you come in on the Icy Wind drop, like, I just am super okay with that. Double Protect, maybe? I vibe with that. That's acceptable. I risked a speed tie here, so. And as long as I hit these icy winds, I'm in a great spot. Yes, awesome. Yes, 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 perfect. So Zacian's now slower than the Oger. I just need to be able to stick a icy wind onto the wake, and then Oger just kind of comes in and just Origin pulses a lot of things out. And then anything that's left, we kind of just bullet punch with Scizor, I think. Actually, now I know why they water teared the wake. They water teared the wake not only to anticipate the Scizor, but like in case I just wanted to Moonblast them. That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's think about what we want to really do here. Speed booster wake. So Icy Wind's a thing. I don't know if I want to let them get a double KO here. I don't know if I really need this Raichu for anything. I'm going to protect with my Flutter, right? I think I just protect Flutter, honestly, and I think you just Electro Whip. If I can stick even more damage there. If I can stick the Icy Wind drop into the wake right there, that's more valuable than Volt switching. Because then there doesn't have to be like a next turn I need to Icy Wind and they can protect bait me. I basically threaten speed control on Walking Wake 2 turns in a row, and that's really good. I don't think Hydro Steam in the Sun KOs Raichu here. Even through all this damage, I think we might barely live it. And if you KO me, right? Yeah, we see because we're AV, remember? And their Orb, that's so sick. And we outspeed the Zacian, remember, because they already had the speeder from last turn. Now the Walking Wake's too slow. We crit on the Zacian. Nice, nice. So now Raichu, I think we are full speed, which we're not. Oof. Sub Zacian. Whoa, okay. That's a spicy dicey out here. I dislike that. Sub Zacian. It's a good set. That means it doesn't have a fighting attack. So actually it means like Scizor like hard checks it. So that's good. Like protects sub Behemoth Blade player of. That should be fine. We're 212 on our Flutter, so we should still be able to kill with Moonblast here. I think they're probably going to protect with Wake. And then KO my Flutter with Zacian, and that's okay, because we're going to get their sub for it. They can't protect their sub and protect their Wake at the same time, unless like I massively will roll this. And then I think something like Scizor in the back is just very, very good here. Nice. Pivot is absolutely amazing. We take this free damage on anything. Distant Past. Yeah, and we got the Raichu on the board. Raichu's a perfect mon to have right here. Great damage. It's a crit too. We take those. Citrus. Citrus Thundy is really good. Tells me it's going to have a lot more tech with like Eerie Impulses and other things like that than any sort of aggressive sets. Break the Sash. And I think you just come in with Scizor right here because they might be just going after the Raichu because they're trying to like actively utilize the Thundy. And you don't ever want to bring in that Oger, right? So you just come with the Scizor. We can eat any attacks. The right play is to just go after the Flutter main. Let's see what they do here. Yeah, I did the right play. I'm gaming. Damn, I'm so good at this game. You ever seen anyone as good as this game as me? Holy moly, your boy busted out here. Okay, so what is the actual play? Oh, the sub is still there. That is cracked. I did not that is a fat sub. Whoa. I guess we don't need Flutter on the board anymore. Just trying to think of what I want here. We could probably double open that Thundy too. I'll just do this. Thunder Wave's fine. Yeah, you can. I could have swapped in the Raichu there. I think they're doubling into that Flutter slot, so I'd rather save the Raichu for a fake out pin than, you know, do anything else. I want to see if they resub here. That'd be actually a really cool play to see. This is neutral into Zacian, by the way. Alright, we're still fast because they're at -2. That's so good. Nice. That's so perfect. Because now we have fake out pins. And I have good stuff coming in potentially with Oger versus the Wake. I think we have the tools to win out here. It's just going to be a little dicey. We know that the Torn was Citrus, not Cloak or anything like that. So we should be fine here. thinking about just webbing. Leer. Oh, he's cooking. He has no other moves to use, right? That's really cool. I vibe with that. I want to reset my fake out pin for the wake. That's what I'm trying to do here. Ah, almost got that. You're down though. I can't believe they didn't protect Zacian. Maybe they don't have protect. Maybe they just like cut protect, maybe subs there. But we also make it so they can't sub, right? So we're coming with Oger here. If they KO the Oger with like a play up or something on a fat read, like I think that we still have the mons to get it with Raichu with a fake out pin. Because Raichu's always going to outspeed the Zacian. Awesome. That was a good play for me. We eat this one. They should have player up. They just didn't want to miss. Awesome. So we have Zacian pinned. I wonder how much damage we actually do to Walking Wake with Bullet Punch. They're going to protect Zacian and hit my Scizor. And so I think the line here would be something like Bullet Punch. The Zacian's at -2, right? I just want to make sure. Yeah, so the line is Bullet Punch here and Origin Pulse. I think that is the line. Rage as that's a DC. We take those. That we have the win. We have the win. So we have the Raichu in the back. I was going to say, we haven't used our Terra yet either. And Scizor having a potential good Terra here could be good. I think we had lines. So, yeah, we have that game. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Wrapped it up. What we're going to be doing right now is taking a look at fixing just a little bit of this team. I think this is like a really, really cool team. There's not a single thing wrong with this rental code. Simon always makes absolutely amazing teams. Again, if you guys have a team you guys want me to take a look at, please think about checking out the official team submission post. Simon did a really, really good write-up, letting me know exactly what their thoughts are on this team. And I will say, I'm going to validate a lot of the questions you might have. I think that you would probably be better off with Scarf Oger, and I might want to see like another version of this team where you decide to use like the Scarf Oger with a special ray. I think that could actually be really cool. If you're going to be playing it in closed sheet, that's going to be a lot better. If you're playing it in open sheet, the one that I'm going to be giving you right now is probably going to be safer in most situations. But I think you made a lot of the right choices. I think Urshifu doesn't need to come on this team. I think Urshifu is like an overextend, trying to adapt like Reg G ideas into a Reg I format. It's just like there's not really a situation where I want to bring Flutter, Ray, Oger, and then, like, Ursh could come, but, like, there's no pivot there because, like, I can't pivot up my Oger for an Ursh that's the same weaknesses, right? So I think that if you made this Ursh, this is where I'd put that Amoonguss, right? And if you take a look at it, it's like, oh, wow, now you can go, like, redirection, E-speed, or you can go, like, redirection double O-pulse, or redirection speed control safely and stuff like that. And so now I think this gives, like, the team a little bit more pivot power. I would say I like the Amoonguss here. There are a couple other mons you could use instead of Amoonguss too, but I think being able to just like, when you lead Kyogre Amoonguss and you're like, okay, am I going to go Rage Powder Spout, or am I going to go like Protect Amoonguss Spore? You have to respect that. You have to bring the taunts. You have to bring the fake outs and things like that. And Amoonguss kind of just has a good matchup in a lot of stuff. It forces the right, like, fight or flight responses from your opponent. And I think it's also pretty decent into TR. What you can actually do is you can lead something like Scizor and any of your other mons, like Oger or whatever. And if they lead like Ogerpon, Grass, like, what is that? Ogerpon, Grass, and Cali Eye, you can, like, Flying Terra your Scizor, dual Wing Beat the Ogerpon, break it through the Sturdy, right? Or you can just Bullet Punch it. That works, too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And, you don't have to waste Terra. And then just Spore out the Cali, and, like, you're in such a good spot. So I think that, you're doing a lot of things right. I would probably make the slight change here into something like that. I don't think you need the 12 points in HP just because the Oger has a relatively high base HP. I also think for a team like this, you're definitely going to want like the Grass so you can actually just soak a little bit of damage. I like Double Dip Water Oger, but that only works with like Scarf Oger, in my opinion. I think that only really works with the Scarf Oger. That being said, this is a cool set. I like that you're still full speed to be able to capitalize after speed control. If you wanted to cut this speed down to right here, you definitely could, but you don't want to lose those speed ties against other Ogres, so I would just stick with this. I think it's fine. So with the Rayquaza, right, this lets you outspeed like things like Genies, Tornadus, Thundurus, things like Mousehold, Lycanroc. This lets you outspeed these guys after a +1/-1 from your Electro Webs or your Icy Winds. So this is all you need if you're be using that bulky Ray. I don't dislike it. You know, we obviously made it work. The whole idea is the bulk on the Ray lets you live that one hit. It makes Ray a much better pivot mon, and then you get the Swords Dance and you sweep with E-Speed. So, like, I would drop your stats down there. I'd max it up here. And then as for, like, the rest of the stats, Ray has a relatively high base HP. You could probably find a good place to put these. Oger's more frail on the defensive side than the SpDef side, so I would probably just put the points right there. They're just extra points, got a little bit more attack out of it, a little bit more defense, nothing really wrong with it. Another thing I would do here is I would add the Clear Amulet. Well, no, not Clear Amulet, Covert Cloak. I like Covert Cloak here because Ray is such a standard Sash mon. When people see Ray, Oger, Raichu, they kind of know that your Raichu is AV because, like, that's the Wolf Core from back in the day. Now that you don't have the Urshifu anymore to also be the Sash, it looks like this is the Sash mon, and you don't need a Sash, so it's like, I think that you could also just go full 52, 252, 252 speed, maybe on that Sweeper Oger, or Sweeper Ray set we were talking about with special attackers. You might want to go with, like, a Sash one, but this is really good, and then it's going to really tunnel those people. You saw it in the first game we played. They fake outed Ray first turn. When you get that free Swords Dance, so if you're playing it in close sheet, this is going to be really, really good for just locking up those games. I really, really like this a lot, and I would highly recommend it. As for the Raichu, I think your Raichu should be full speed, but, like, that's just me. You don't need anything else, really. I think that realistically, Raichu has a really low base defense. I don't know what this is EV trained to live, but you're going to be better off by putting most of your points in HP on these vested sets, because specifically, since you're getting, if you didn't have any points in SpDef, you're basically going to be giving you way, way, way more SpDef overall by putting the points in HP first, and then just throwing your extra remaining points in HP, or sorry, in defense. So I would do something like this. I would just split it up like that. This lets you outspeed a couple things. You also, what is it? We have 221. You only need to be right there. So you can actually get like an extra 8 points there. I think this is just a little bit safer set. Flying is cool Terra here. Fairy is also a viable one to just like outvalue like Raging Bolt like 100% of the time. So think about maybe making that Fairy. I mean, I would make it Fairy because it's also just better into Koraidon. Just my opinion. Flutter, I think the Flutter like killed it. Really, really good Flutter set. I really like that you still have Shadow Ball. One little thing that I would note is I would go double dip on the Ghost typing here. That's just me. This is for close sheet. This still lets you KO Shadow Rider if they flip on that Mono Ghost Terra. If you flip on the Mono Ghost back, you OHKO. So against like Specs Ghost Terra Shadow Riders, they're going to be flipping on that Ghost to make it so it's only super effective, and then they have the bulk to outvalue, and then if you double dip your Ghost back, you just outvalue them right there. So I like that a lot. Amoonguss. Like, so what kind of Amoonguss set do we really want here? Are we going to be pivoting a lot? Is Mental Herb the right one? Is Rocky Helmet the right one? There's a lot of different Amoonguss sets. I've actually been using a lot of Quick Claw Amoonguss in Double Restricted, and I actually really do like it. I think Regenerator is still the better ability here. I was using like Effect Spore Quick Claw, and I really was liking that. I think that Rocky Helmet is going to be good. Because, like, again, Oger is pinned by a lot of these physical threats. It has a huge base SpDef. So, like, people want to run their, like, big physical threats down into the Oger. Rocky Helmet's good. If you're not liking Rocky Helmet, you could definitely go Mental Herb. What I would recommend is something like this. Is Dark Terra here to be able to stop, like, Encore locks. And then you just have, like, Protect, Rage Powder, Spore. And then I'm a fan of Pollen Puff on Amoonguss just because, like, you can Pollen Puff your own Oger, you can Pollen Puff an AV Raichu, you can Pollen Puff your Scizor. I really, really vibe with that. I think it's going to be good. So I would do something like that. And then as for Amoonguss, you don't need to, like, max out your HP, but I usually go to, like, 236. And then since we're Rocky Helmet, I don't see a problem with, like, 252, 20. Make yourself 0 speed reduced. So you can always underspeed the maximum amount of things in Trick Room. Really, really cool set. I think this is going to help you out in a lot of your games. And then last but not least for the Scizor, you don't need to put like this many points in SpDef. I think you're going to get more value out of just like maxing that HP first. Something like this is good. You also only need to go to 85 to outspeed a lot of the things you were outspeeding because we don't tail one, just have +1, -1 calcs. So this is outspeeding things that are made to outspeed base 101s at +1. So it's like 85 is fine. I think maybe if you wanted to have 4 there, there's nothing really wrong with it. These are 12 extra points. I don't think there's a problem with just like 252 clubbing it up. I actually don't think there's a problem with this. If you wanted to go with like a 244 into like a 4-4, that's probably the most optimal way to do it for how you want to play this Scizor. You can even go the 44 up here in the HP and get like the max amount of damage on Scizor. I think the one thing about Scizor that I would recommend is I don't think you need Bug Bite. I really think that this guy, you saw how I played it in all the games. I think I've led with it in most of them. You lead with it, you soak the damage, and then you U-turn in that Oger slow. You get Oger in safe, you apply like a fake out or a speed control on the first turn, and then Oger just like slaps the game. You break the sashes, you soften up something, you might make them like force waste a Terra, and you just come in hot with the Oger. So those are the changes I would make. I really, really think that you were on point with this Scizor choice. Very, very underrated mon in this format. Flying Terra is really, really cool on it too, to be able to not only double dip your dual wing beat, get that technician boost on both, but also like resist like close combats and stuff like that, or body presses from Zamazenta. So I really, really like this team. Again, if you guys have any sort of teams you want help with, please think about checking out the Patreon. I'm going to be making 3 or 4 of these types of videos a week where I take a look at teams you guys submit, I use them in games, I let you know what I think, I fix the team, and I give it back. This is a really, really cool team submitted by Simon. We're also going to be fixing a bunch of the teams where people just submit paste. If you don't have a rental code, that's completely fine. If you just submit a Poke Paste, we're going to be fixing those live on stream at twitch.tv/THATSAplusONE. There's a link to that in the description of this video, in between like Limitless Tour rounds. So if you want like one-on-one feedback while I'm live, maybe think about checking out the Twitch stream if you also submit a team to this Patreon post. Other than that, if you guys are liking the content, drop a sub on the channel. We're still trying to get to 50K, and we're doing our absolute best every single day. New videos at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Reg I. I'm doing my absolute best to get you guys as prepped as possible before the ladder starts on May 1st. And speaking about what I'm doing right now, I'm going to go stream a Limitless tournament right now. And yeah, wish me luck. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.